So Where By Us is an organization that designs creative experiences where we get locals together to work on brainstorming ideas for small projects that can make Miami better. And it's one of many, many things which you all are going to be familiar with around this moment of change and evolution in Miami. And you may see a lot of photos like this, but we wanted to know what's the human face of the sort of moment of evolution and change that Miami seems to be going through. What does that look like from the perspective of people on the ground? How do they feel about it? How do Miamians learn about it and interact with this moment of change? And so these are a couple of things we found. One is that we love the challenge of a growing and changing place. There are certain moments, like on certain highway interchanges and so forth, where this is not true. But in general, we love the opportunity that comes with a place that has an open landscape where we can sort of build our own ideas on. And these are some quotes from people we've talked to with a particular focus on sort of young professionals in this area that Miami Foundation is interested in. But we talk with people across a wide variety of geography, income, educational attainment, and so forth. And these are some common threads that we found from people. People like the idea that Miami is an open landscape, that there's a challenge here. If you want to build something, if you're excited about something, you can do that. And you know, if you try to sell Miami to people as this complete urban experience, this sort of utopian city, that's not going to happen because it's not, but it's a big work in progress and people find that rewarding. However, it's hard to keep up and to feel connected to that moment. We heard a lot of people tell us that they feel like it's hard to find their local experience, to find people and places where they feel at home, to find their tribe where they feel welcome, people who are interested in the same things as them, particularly if you're new to town. It can be kind of a lonely experience. And we heard people in particular saying, you know, there are a lot of events to go to, so many opportunities in this sort of flourishing moment for Miami where lots of stuff is happening. But it's easy to feel sort of barraged and behind and dumb if you can't keep up with this stuff. And even though we're in this moment of growth and expansion, some of the big trends that are happening, some of the big movement pieces can still feel really opaque, really hard to interact with. It's hard to learn about what's going on and to find these places where you feel welcome. And as we have this moment of growth, one of the things for us to think about together is how do we help people find the places they want to hang out with, find these neighborhood spots, even if they're created in untraditional ways. The next thing that brings us to is civics are homework, but cities are fun. Those of us who care about making the places we live better tend to build up this vocabulary around it that makes it really boring. And we try to often convince people that a particular thing we care about is important. The sea level rise is coming. The ocean is coming to eat us. You must believe this is important. We sort of implore people to get excited about this or to sort of get passionate about it. And we found it's often the case, most of the time, that people already know they're supposed to find something important, but we haven't made it easy for them to get involved with it. We haven't given them an action they can take or sort of made it accessible to individual people. And so that's sort of a realignment that those of us in the civic sector might think about. And the other piece of that is that Miami is a place that just inherently feels like you're supposed to have a good time here. You're supposed to relax and have fun and explore and have that kind of sensibility of vibrancy that sort of pervades this place that we all pick up on. And our work in sort of improving Miami should reflect that. It shouldn't be totally academic. It shouldn't feel totally stripped of all that character because we are number 5 on the weirdness index, and that's really important. And so the last thing is open landscapes demand this sort of curiosity and exploration and lots of inventors. The number one thing we could do as sort of a giant group of people who are all here from various institutions and so forth is get out of the way and or allow people to experiment. There's a lot of momentum people build up in their energy for cities, and sometimes that's people want to start a project or they want to talk about something or they want to get involved or they want to start a food truck. And the thing that can stop that faster than anything else is the rock wall you get of a bureaucracy or a policy or a system that is not set up to welcome that experimentation. And those systems and processes often exist for extremely good reasons, but they're not sort of intelligently applied to the moment we're in. And we heard that from a lot of people, that they're excited about this moment of change in Miami, but it can be really frustrating to try and do new stuff, to try and explore, because some of the systems feel really closed. And so there are opportunities for us to try and open it up and really lean into that moment of Miami as a work in progress. And so the number one thing we found is that people want to sort of access this moment of creation. You see lots of people writing on the city in real time on the skyline, building new buildings, actually erecting a new city. How do we invite everyone who lives here into that process? That's sort of the moment that we found the biggest opportunity, because we found that when people get engaged in that, when they're invited to participate in creating the city, they are going to stay here for a very long time because it's irresistible to be involved in the creation of the future of the place. So that's what we found, and thanks very much.